Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton will join us to discuss a variety of city issues, and we'll hear about a new collaborative effort to improve local education. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Each month, Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton joins us to discuss the latest city issues, including this month an update on the controversial selection of the city's municipal court chief presiding judge. Here now is Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton. Good to see you again.
It's always great to be here, Ted. Thanks for having me.
Well, you betcha. Let's get started now with an update on this chief presiding judge. A lot of controversy here because there was a lot of thought that there wasn't enough diversity in the process. What's the latest?
Well, it wasn't controversial to me in this regard. Look, we are so lucky in the state of Arizona to have a nationally recognized merit selection process for our judges. The whole point is to take politics out of this selection process for our judges. In the city of Phoenix, our selection process mimics that, the merit selection process, and we as a result have an incredible court at Phoenix Municipal Court. Look at our court, the most talented judges, incredibly diverse group of people. And in the present circumstances, we needed a new chief presiding judge. Judge Roxanne Song-Ong had been our chief presiding judge for 9 years, did an outstanding job. She retired, so we're in the process of looking for a new judge. Our committee that goes through the merit selection process moved forward with 3 names, and those names will be moving on to the full city council on June 9th, and the full city council will be able to select among those 3 names, and those are the names that made it through the merit selection process in Phoenix. So in my mind, we want as much diversity as we can in our courts, and I think we do have an outstanding group of judges that are both incredibly talented and diverse, and we also want to make sure that we maintain the merit selection process. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do as mayor.
You didn't block efforts to slow the process or redo the process as some had wanted, and critics are again saying that the finalists lacked diversity. First of all, did the finalists lack diversity?
Well, there were 3 people that were recommended by our Judicial Advisory Committee, again, the committee that is our merit selection process. They were all male. 1 happens to be gay. 2 people were not selected for moving forward to the full city council. I don't know the reasons why they weren't selected. This is why we have merit selections, because you don't want the mayor and council to ask questions of that committee and substitute our opinion for their opinion. The whole point of merit selection is to depoliticize the process. So that's what I believe my appropriate role as mayor was to do, and that's exactly what I did do.
But the whole point of transparency is to make sure the process is on the up and up, and the fact that some say no minorities, no women, nothing here suggests that maybe it needs to be looked at again. You say?
Well, first off, if we're going to have merit selection, you've got to follow merit selection, and I don't then substitute my own opinion, or nor do I want the other politicians to substitute their own opinion for the opinion of the Merit Selection Committee. You look at the makeup of the Merit Selection Committee within the city of Phoenix, you have representatives of the Arizona Court of Appeals, you have representatives of Maricopa County Superior Court, you have leading attorneys and community members from around the city. It truly is an outstanding committee that I trust. And the committee, of course, they make recommendations not just for chief presiding judge, they make recommendations for all of the judges of the municipal court, and we do have, I would politely argue, the most diverse court in the entire state of Arizona is the Phoenix Municipal Court, and so the process leads to a very diverse court, and it leads to the most talented people, and my job, again, is to protect the process, if you will, protect the merit selection process, and that's exactly what I did.
At the selection board itself, diversity there?
Yes, if you look at the selection committee itself, it's an outstanding group of lawyers, and yes, there is diversity on the committee.
So what's next in all this?
It's going to go before the city council on June 9th, and we're going to interview those 3 judges. We as a council will then decide whether or not we want to select one of those judges or to reject all of them. I do believe, as we always have, we will select one of the outstanding judges that have been put forward. I want to make sure one point is absolutely clear. Look, I take as mayor diversity in the leadership of the city very, very seriously. I think we have a lot to be proud of in the city of Phoenix. I take diversity on my own staff very seriously. I take diversity within all of the city employment very seriously, especially among the leadership of the city. And if you look at some of the promotions that have been made, at least since I've been mayor, we are significantly improving in that regard. That's a very high value for me as mayor. I'm also an attorney. I'm a member of the bar. And protecting merit selection, which is under attack almost on an annualized basis at the legislature, protecting merit selection, I believe, is also a very high value. And so my job as mayor was, I believe, under these circumstances, to balance those interests, and I believe that protecting merit selection in the selection of our chief presiding judge was a high value for me and for the city.
Okay, so no redo, it's over, it's ball game, that's it, you got three, pick one.
June 9th will be the interviews and selection of one of the three outstanding jurists put forward by the merit selection.
All right, we got a couple hundred firefighters that are going to get paid a couple $1 million in back pay. What in the world is that all about?
Well, occasionally the city of Phoenix makes a mistake, and in this case, we did make a mistake. As one of our negotiations years ago with one of our bargaining units, in this case the Professional Phoenix Firefighters, United Phoenix Firefighters, they made some change in pay scale, and that was not, and I'll speak as a layperson here, it wasn't appropriately inputted into our computer system, so it wasn't automated. And it took a number of years, but after a number of years, one of our firefighters discovered that he had been underpaid and discovered that there was a group of other firefighters that were underpaid. And when you make a mistake, you fix it. And that's exactly what we did. We voted recently to fix that mistake and make sure that those firefighters were appropriately compensated for what they should have been compensated over a number of years.
What steps have been taken to keep this from happening again?
Well, obviously we have, through our Human Resource Department, we have reviewed our entire systems, and I am confident that yes, we will make mistakes of other nature in the future. I mean, we're human, this is still a human system, but this type of mistake I don't believe will be made again.
The mistake won't be made, and if made, maybe caught a little bit earlier?
I think that is the case. We have better systems in place now to catch a mistake of that nature.
I'm hearing of a downtown ASU health complex being considered. Right out here on Fillmore, right north of Hiddesville. What's that all about?
Well, as you know, we about 15 years ago made the initial investment in a bioscience campus in the heart of the city. It's been a massive success with TGen, University of Arizona, medical school, a cancer center is going to be opening in the fall in partnership with St. Joseph's Hospital and the University of Arizona and the city of Phoenix being a full partner in that regard. That campus is going gangbusters, over $1 billion in annualized benefit to our local economy because of that, and it's growing. And so now Arizona State University, which obviously already has its spectacular campus, including where we are filming this awesome show right now in the heart of downtown Phoenix, ASU is continuing its partnership with the city of Phoenix, and we'll be voting tomorrow on a unique partnership between ASU and a company called NantWorks, which is a leading cancer research entity, to bring even more cancer research jobs to downtown Phoenix. ASU will have spectacular investigators and professors there. NantWorks will be able to do their work in partnership with ASU, and you're going to see more development, more great development, good jobs for Phoenix on our downtown biomedical campus.
I believe NantWorks, the same guy involved there, is involved with that new institute at Phoenix Children's Hospital, correct?
That is correct. Dr. Patrick Soon Schwan, I hope I pronounced that correctly, has invested already in Phoenix. A previous company called Celgene invested $300 million in West Phoenix. He's partnered with Phoenix Children's Hospital, both on a philanthropic basis as well as forming this new institute. He and Dr. Michael Crow have developed a great relationship over a number of years, and now we're seeing that relationship come to fruition where NantWorks has such confidence in ASU and the great research that's being done there that they want to directly go into partnership together.
So ASU leases the land for 30 years. The first 10 years, it sounds like, are basically free. And then at the end of 30 years, the land is transferred over to ASU. Everyone okay with that? Any problems with that? Any concerns?
Concerns? I think people are excited about that. So City of Phoenix, using our land that we designated for great bioscience and healthcare jobs, is going to lease that to Arizona State University. They have found a great partner, NantWorks, to partner up with to create more bioscience and healthcare and cancer research jobs in the heart of the city. It'll create great opportunities for partnership. Look, ASU is an incredibly entrepreneurial university. I might politely argue that there is no more of an entrepreneurial university than Arizona State University. By the way, with the cuts that they are facing at the legislature, I think they're going to need to become more entrepreneurial, look for more private partnerships. This is one way where they can advance the cause of the university by partnering with a private sector partner, knowing that it's going to advance the cause of Arizona State University. There will be many, many investigators from Arizona State University that will be working at this building and on the biomedical campus.
I guess if the first 10 years being free, I was wondering if folks were going to be concerned with that.
Well, ultimately, as you just said, the building will revert to ASU. So the private sector entity is going to be building this building. It's going to be filling it with many jobs, bringing on ASU researchers. This is exactly the kind of economic development that the people of this community should expect from the city of Phoenix. We are focused in on innovation. We are focused in on bioscience as the future of our economy. We're not going to stand for low-wage jobs. We're going to invest and partner with entities bringing high-wage jobs to our community, and that's exactly what this is going to do for downtown Phoenix.
All right, Mayor, we have to stop it there. Good
Darn
to see
it.
you. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
It was too fast, but I always enjoy being here.
All right, good to see you. Tonight's edition of American Graduate looks at why fewer than half of students who graduate in the Phoenix Union High School District go on to college. For many, the problems start in elementary school and not passing certain benchmarks. Producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Kyle Mound show us a new community-based initiative whose main assignment is helping these students thrive.
Hearing her kids read aloud is music to third grade teacher Alexandra Blanchard's ears.
Quite a few of them come with really big gaps in their phonics skills. Most of them don't have books at home.
It's Blanchard's job to make sure all of the students in her class at Ed and Verma Pastor Elementary are proficient in reading by the end of the school year.
By the time you get to third grade, you have to know how to read, because by fourth grade, you're only learning from the reading. They're not going to work on phonics with you as much as your primary teachers will. They're expecting you to know your sight words, expecting you to be able to figure out what a word means so that you can learn from the reading versus learning how to read. So third grade is the transition from learning how to read to learning from the reading.
Now, Blanchard and her colleagues will get help from an initiative called Thriving Together. Thriving Together is a collaboration between the educational community and the business and nonprofit communities. The goal is to help the 250,000 students in Phoenix successfully achieve benchmarks in reading and math, and eventually set them up to be successful in college or trade school.
We're abandoning those programs that don't work and focusing on those practices that work and replicating them throughout the system.
Dr. Kent Scribner is the superintendent of Phoenix Union High School District. He's also the co-chair of Thriving Together. He admits the road ahead is tough. A baseline report released by Thriving Together shows 1 in 3 third graders in Phoenix area schools failed a state reading assessment test.
So from my perspective, if we can have our students read at grade level, do math at the appropriate levels, be college and career prepared, our students are great resources to contribute to the Phoenix and Arizona economy in the years to come.
Blanchard adds the need for her class to be literate goes beyond grooming a workforce.
If they go to vote and they don't have a clue what they're voting for, then they're going to be changing our laws. And so if our community needs to be involved with the reading, because our kids are part of the community.
All of Blanchard's hard work is paying off.
Baseball ticket stubs.
Baseball ticket stubs.
Her students enjoy reading and, perhaps most importantly, are focused on their futures.
When I grow up, I want to be an author because I love reading so much.
It can make you smart, so when you grow up, you can have a good job.
Thriving Together's leaders admit they have their hands full, but say now is not the time to give up.
Because our students are not problems that need to be solved, our students are assets that need to be invested in. And if we want to have a prosperous economy, if we want to have a prosperous society, then we certainly need to invest in our students today.
Here now to tell us more about Thriving Together is Gonzalo de la Melena, President and CEO of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Anel Mercado, Director of Thriving Together, and Dr. Mario Ventura, Superintendent of the Isaac School District here in Phoenix. Good to have you all here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. The idea of preparing for success from birth to career. Tell me more about this.
Well, think of it as a continuum and how we build the pipeline for the future and identifying those students early in the process and taking them all the way through the career placement. And it's a comprehensive approach, and that's what Thriving Together achieves, is pursuing, is that holistic approach.
Yeah, we heard that. We've obviously saw what we saw. Thriving Together, give us a definition of what it really is.
So it's based off of a framework that started in Cincinnati about 10 years ago, and really looking at collective impact. So bringing the community together, the leaders, to have a shared community vision. What do we want for our area? Second, it's around data. So how do we use the data? Not to beat folks over the head. We like to say use the data as a flashlight, not a hammer, because the data is going to show us what's working. It's also going to show us where we want to focus.
And when that data gets to you, what do you do with it?
Well, we look at the data and we think about how can we improve our programs. So by identifying strategies that work, we can use that data to influence the classroom and have better achievement for our students.
And when we talk about bringing together community resources, again, give us examples. What are we talking about here?
I think it's connecting the dots between community leaders and corporations and small business owners. If we're going to build the future pipeline and workforce for Arizona, we need to start really developing those students at a young age.
Have we seen maybe a lack of connectivity there in the past? I mean, obviously more needs to be done. That means not enough was done in the past, correct?
Yeah, well, if you think about Arizona competing in the global economy and the future, we need to look at, the demographics are dramatically changing in this market. A third of our state, 42% of our city, and now 51% of K through 12 are children of Latino background. And so we need to invest in these children to be competitive in the global economy.
I like this idea of benchmarks. Now talk to us about those and what kids have to meet and when.
Certainly. So if you think around the entire continuum, we're focused on the first benchmark, which is children being ready to enter kindergarten. And then the third grade reading, because of the Move On When reading law, is another important benchmark. The 8th grade math benchmark tells us something important, because most students, if they don't pass 9th grade algebra, they're not on track to graduate high school. So having children on track in 8th grade on math is super important. And then there's the high school graduation, but it's about college-ready graduates. And then the college enrollment and attainment and leading into actually obtaining a career.
As far as getting all of those metrics in place and figuring out how they're working, from where you sit, is it difficult? Is it a jumble of numbers and facts and figures?
No, actually, Thriving Together has made it simple for us. They have a group of folks that bring that data and make it usable, make it user-friendly. We have the goals in place that we were going to work towards, and we also have groups of folks called collaborative data groups, and they will use this data at more of at the micro level to help us improve our programs. But the goals are set, and they bring clarity to the whole initiative.
What are you seeing? Is it 3rd grade reading that seems to be the biggie? 8th grade math, as you mentioned, is that the big? Where's the concept? Where's the focus?
Well, 3rd grade reading, Isaac is a K-8 school district, so we focus on both goals apply to us. But in 3rd grade reading, when you look at that, if children are not reading by 3rd grade, they're going to struggle in middle school and in high school, and then struggling graduating. So we take it back. How do we prepare our children to do well in 3rd grade? Well, reading begins at home, but then we take over in kindergarten and we focus on developing those early reading skills, letter recognition, sounds, and developing fluency. But when they get to 3rd grade, they have to read to learn. And it's a whole different skill set. It's more reading comprehension, skills and strategies that can be applied to social studies and science. So that's the challenge. How do we make sure that we are getting our kids prepared for a lifelong learning?
And I want to get back to the classroom here in a second, but back out into the community. The importance of this. Are business leaders, community leaders, are they starting to figure out that if the kids got to read by 3rd grade?
I think so, and the light that people like Valley of the Sun United Way, who's serving as the convener in this approach and has brought a lot of the leading corporations, a lot of leading nonprofits, community organizations together to really lay out what that framework looks like. And that awareness, breeds more interest in it. And so once people understand the awareness and what the objectives are, and then people start to understand their role in it.
Is this at all connected to any kind of government mandate?
No, not to my knowledge. This is really kind of a self-subscribed, kind of the new innovation, which is basically iterations of gaining alignment, right? Getting the right people on the bus in the right seats, measuring the right things, and creating more efficiency, almost if they're like threading the needle to get to the desired outcome.
As far as getting back into the classroom now, these third graders, getting them to read, the eighth graders, getting them to do math, once you hit those two benchmarks, then you got the high school years. How do you keep, did well in third grade, did well in eighth grade, poof, it all goes up in smoke in high school. How do you keep that from happening?
Well, I think that's part of the work of Thriving Together, because Dr. Scribner and all of the folks at Phoenix Union are working hard along that trajectory. And sometimes it's just about really like how do you bring in the alignment and support that the schools need. And so they have a lot of different partners that say, hey, we want to help you. But sometimes it's overwhelming and they're not sure who's actually helping them move the needle.
Right.
So Thriving Together is really around looking at how do we help them identify what's working in their schools, who are those programmatic partners that are really helping them get the students through the pipeline, and also just making those connections between adults who care with the students.
The adults who care include the parents. What happens when you run into kids and the parents just are ambivalent about it all?
I don't know that there's so much that they're ambivalent as they haven't necessarily been invited or brought in the way that speaks to parents. We have a lot of families who both parents are working, sometimes they have multiple jobs, and so you say, parents don't show up for teacher conferences. But maybe they don't have the ability to go in the middle of the day to a teacher conference, and it might mean that maybe the school has to change how they do teacher conferences to allow for better participation. So some innovative ways of thinking around how you engage parents instead of just jumping to the fact that they might be ambivalent, because Dr. Scribner likes to say that I'm pretty sure the kids in our community, their parents love them just as much as parents in other communities.
Yeah, and I'm sure they do, and obviously most parents think their kids are the best and the brightest and the whole 9 yards. But some parents aren't used to this kind of direction for the kids. How do you deal with those challenges?
Well, we know we have to do a good job building a relationship with our families, and that's where it all begins, and making school relevant to the families. So I'll give you an example. In Isaac, what we do is our parent conferences have changed from that traditional come once a quarter to learn about how your child's progressing to come once a quarter and let us show you the data and let us show you how your child's progressing. In fact, we focus on reading in Isaac when we have these parent-teacher conferences. But we really have to engage our families, and it's when we're talking about that individual child and showing the families how important they are to us and showing them how they can help and be involved in their child's learning, that's where we're going to make progress. But we have to drive that.
We've done stories in the past where the parent involvement is key. You can only do so much in the classroom. When they take stuff home to do on their own, the parent has to be there to make sure they're doing it.
Right. And parents care. I have to throw this in because this was my research topic for my doctorate. And with the Latino community, you may have parents that don't have a lot of time to be there for their kids or be at the school site, but they care. And they do something called consejos. They always give advice. That's what consejos means in Spanish. And for example, when I went to school, my mom did not speak English, but every day I left that house, she said, "Te portas bien y le pones mucha atención a la maestra," which means behave yourself and listen to your teacher. And we have many parents that do that. So they care and they do the best they can with what they have. But as a school site, we, as an organization, we have to do our best to continue to draw them in and show them how they can help their children.
Yeah, that sounds like a mom there. So we're Thriving Together. What kind of reaction are we getting? Where is this going to go?
Well, I think that the business community in particular is excited because they can provide insights into what the future workforce development needs are, A. And two, B, they're able to also provide opportunities, if it's shadowing opportunities, internship opportunities, and really be part of that that value chain that we described.
And they are seeing, this isn't lip service here, they are seeing these opportunities.
Yes.
They are.
Yep.
And as far as you're concerned, where does Thriving Together go from here?
You know, I think that right now we spent a year and a half laying a foundation, and we've done a great job. We have some very invested leaders. Our teams are running, but I think we're going into where the rubber meets the road, where we're really working with schools and school districts around changes in the classroom, changes systemically that are really to help move the needle. And we couldn't do it without the partners that are at the table. And it's about scaling what works. So when we talk about, the parent engagement, I can point to a school in our community that has great parent engagement. So we're looking at what they're doing, and then we can go to school where parent engagement isn't great, and we can start scaling those effective practices.
Well, very good. Well, congratulations. Congratulations to you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great discussion. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
This program is part of American Graduate. Let's make it happen. A public media initiative made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.